right news at the right time. This is Fox 14 News at 5:30.
Alton Sterling's family says it has written proof that Baton Rouge knew that it had a bad officer a year before that officer killed him. And a big announcement tonight for Tallulah as they select their interim mayor. Plus, art for the birds, why herons will be popping up all over the Twin Cities. Thank you for choosing Fox 14. I'm Sarah Scarlett. First on Fox, a special meeting tonight in Tallulah as the interim mayor will be announced. Chelsea Jones is in Tallulah right now, and she'll have a report later, like a full coverage story at 9 o'clock. There's been a lot going on in Tallulah within the last month, and tonight will be the beginning of a new era, as City Council will announce the interim mayor for the city. From the sudden death of the late Mayor Branch to just last week, the council passing an over $26,000 supplement for the town's water clarifier, and an announcement from Paxton J. Branch II saying he's ready to take the interim mayor's seat. Now, there has been some chatter from people wondering if Branch II is the right choice. Some feel that Gloria Hayden should be the one next in line. However, we don't know that yet, and we'll have updates tonight at 9 o'clock. Baton Rouge police had warnings that an officer was dangerous a year before he and another officer shot and killed Alton Sterling. Sterling was shot to death in a struggle with two Baton Rouge officers at a convenience store 2 years ago. The Justice Department and Louisiana's Attorney General decided not to file criminal charges, but Officer Blaine Salamone was fired. Sterling's family is suing Salamone, the police department, and the city of Baton Rouge for wrongful death. In a status hearing this morning, the family's lawyers revealed a department email describing Salamone as borderline nuts after he got into an argument with another officer at the police firing range.
This was not just the act of a rogue cop, Blaine Salamone. This was a systematic failure by the police department and also those who oversee the police department.
We're going to unearth, like Mr. Stewart said, all of the things in the Baton Rouge Police Department over the last few years that show that Officer Salamone was not well trained.
Lawyers say the Sterling family is open to settling out of court, but it would have to include compensation for his children and major changes to Baton Rouge police. The suit is set for trial in April 2020. A Richland Parish inmate is on the run after walking off his work release job in Bienville Parish. Fox 14's Randy Ayala has been speaking to law enforcement. Randy, what did you find out?
Sarah, the search is widespread for Clifford Lee Matney. The Richland Parish Sheriff's Office says the Department of Corrections inmate was being housed at their facility. 30-year-old Matney was on work release at the House of Rayford Farms in Arcadia when he walked off early yesterday morning and never returned. He was serving time for narcotic violations, public intimidation, and resisting an officer. He was set to be released in 2020. The Sheriff's Office tells me they're focusing the search in Grant Parish, where the inmate is originally from. That's the latest on this developing story. We'll keep you updated as more information becomes available. In the Media Control Center, Randy Ayala, Fox 14 News.
Thanks, Randy. A man faces the rest of his life in prison for stabbing a woman to death. A jury took little more than half an hour to convict 52-year-old Raymond George Johnson of second-degree murder. Prosecutors say he stabbed a 44-year-old Yolanda Moore 21 times and waited to call 911 at least an hour after she died. Police found her blood and his on the walls, floors, and furniture inside the home, and on a knife found in his front yard. That ammonia leak near Ruston still may take another day or two to clean up. A section is closed again indefinitely after Highway 822 reopened yesterday afternoon. The section is between Highway 33 and Bartlett Road. Crews are trying to burn off remaining residue. Then they can remove the contaminated dirt covering the leak to start repairs. Folks living outside the 1,000-foot radius on the spill site can get back in their homes, but school buses won't run until all repairs are finished and the site is cleared. A LaSalle Parish inmate says the devil tells him what to do. That's why he faces a new charge, setting his cell mattress on fire. 21-year-old Ulysses Garrido Zamudo is charged with 1 count of aggravated arson. The state fire marshal says Garrido Zamudo was in the isolation cell for disciplinary issues when he set his mattress on fire and refused to leave his cell. He was taken to the hospital for smoke inhalation. Investigators say he admitted to setting the fire after becoming upset with a family situation. Tonight, supporters of Judge Brett Kavanaugh are rushing to defend him after allegations of sexual misconduct resurfaced. Kavanaugh has denied any wrongdoing after being accused of sexually assaulting a woman in the 1980s. Fox 14's Mark Meredith is in Washington with a closer look at how the White House is going to great lengths to try to save Kavanaugh's nomination.
I feel so badly for him that he's going through this.
President Trump is once again defending Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh amid allegations Kavanaugh, as a teenager, sexually assaulted a girl in the 1980s.
Judge Kavanaugh, what will you say in your testimony on Monday?
Kavanaugh hid from cameras as he left his home Tuesday. But across Washington, his supporters are speaking up, eager to defend the 53-year-old's reputation.
He's been in public service for 25 years. He's passed 6 different background checks.
Carrie Severino is the director of the Judicial Crisis Network. The conservative activist group is spending $1.5 million on TV ads.
Confirm Kavanaugh.
To support Kavanaugh's nomination.
It's not fair for his name to be besmirched because of one 36-year-old uncorroborated allegation.
Democrats say they need more time to look into Kavanaugh's past. They're calling on the FBI to reopen its background check.
It's fundamentally right to reopen the background investigation.
The Senate Judiciary Committee has invited Kavanaugh's accuser, Dr. Christine Ford, to testify on Monday. Senate Republicans say Dr. Ford has the option to testify publicly or behind closed doors.
This process has played out with so little order and so little sensitivity lies solely at the feet of Senate Democrats.
Democratic Senator Doug Jones says a hearing will help lawmakers find the truth.
There's no reason to rush this thing to judgment.
Kavanaugh says he's willing to defend himself under oath during Monday's hearing. In Washington, I'm Mark Meredith.
Coming up on Fox 14, local community organizations are banding together to create a public art project. More on how they plan to leave their mark across the Twin Cities.